So in today's video, I'm going to go through and just list some of the contents that you will find in the History of Middle-earth, edited by Christopher Tolkien. Now, this is my copy. It is a 3-volume set that has all 12 books. First 5 books are in the first one. Second one has the next, I think it's the next 5. No, next 4. And then what's left is in this little last one. Now, the first book is the Book of Lost Tales, Part 1. The Book of Lost Tales was the earliest version of the Silmarillion. Christopher divided it into 2 books. In the first one, it starts out with the Cottage of Lost Play, which is about a mariner, Ariel, who is from mainland Europe, and he's sailing the Western Seas, which would be the Atlantic Ocean, and he comes to the island of Tol Eressëa. He meets the fairies, or elves, as Tolkien was calling them at this point, and they tell him the tales of their story, their history. This first book has 10 chapters. Men come in at the very end, and when you get to Book of Lost Tales Part 2, they help the gnomes, who are also elves, in their war against Melko to get the the Silmarils weren't prominent in this at all. I don't think they were there, if I can remember. That was not the main part of the story of them, fighting to get these jewels back. But anyway, you get, of course, in this second book, Part 2, you get the Tale of Tinuviel, Torambar and the Foal of Loki, the Fall of Gondolin, the Nauglamir, or Necklace of the Dwarves. Now, he did not write the Tale of Arendil. There were just notes and poems and stuff, and of course, the ending of the book, never written. So it kind of lacks its end, but there's plenty of notes and stuff. Christopher gives those in here. You can kind of see how this would all fit together. Of course, by the end of this, Tolkien decides that Ariel is going to be named Eowyn, and he is going to not be from Europe, but he's going to be from Britain in the Anglo-Saxon period. Tol Eressëa originally was going to become, Britain, Ireland, all that. Tolkien changed that. Then he started in Book 3, The Lays of Beleriand, casting, a couple of these stories into verse. You have the Children of Húrin and the Lay of Leithian, and some fragments of some others that he was going to compose. And then in Volume 4, you have the Sketch of Mythology. Now, Volume 4 is called The Shaping of Middle-earth. You get, like I said, you get his Sketch of Mythology, which he wrote to explain the background to the Children of Húrin that he lent to a friend to read. So he wrote this to explain it to him. This would be turned into the Quinta Noldorinwa. Of course, you also have the Ambercanta in this book, which is talks about what the world looks like, and then there's some drawings of maps that he was working on, and you get the first Silmarillion map. And now you start to see the Silmarils have more of a prominent role. Volume 5, The Lost Road and Other Writings. This is where we get to the Fall of Numenor, which he now brings in. And of course, at this time, he's writing The Hobbit. And so you get works associated with, you have the Quinta Silmarillion, which is a new version of the Quinta Nolorinwa. You get the account of tongues, the Lammas, the etymologies, which shows you all the roots for all the words in his Elvish languages. And so you get kind of a little vocabulary in there. Now, volumes 6 through 9 are the drafts of The Lord of the Rings. You have The Return of the Shadow, The Treason of Isengard, The War of the Ring, and Sauron Defeated. Sauron Defeated also has a new version of The Lost Road from Volume 5, which is a time travel story when you get to Numenor. Well, you have a new version of this called the Notion Club Papers. There's now 2 versions of Sauron Defeated, one with Notion Club Papers, one without. This is the full version. So I don't like reading like half of a version of something. I want to read the whole thing. And of course, the last 3 books, you have The Return to the Silmarillion. You have Morgoth's Ring and War of the Jewels, which splits up the Quinta Silmarillion. This is the new version he was working on. And some other related writings like Quindian Eldar, the Athrobeth, which is a dialogue between the Elven King Finrod and a human female, Androth, I should say. And they have a little conversation about the natures of men and elves, and they talk about what if the creator, Eru Ilúvatar, were to come into his own creation. What would that look like? Well, he would come in the form of man to save man, which of course hints at the Bible and Christ's resurrection, crucifixion, all of that. And you see Tolkien kind of trying to figure out how to make his mythology fit with the Lord of the Rings more and seem more realistic. And of course, Peoples of Middle-earth. It's just, a combination of, you have the appendices to the Lord of the Rings, the original drafts, and then you have material related to the Silmarillion, the Third Age, and all this stuff. And so the history of Middle-earth is just shows you the evolution of Tolkien's world and how that came to be. And Christopher gives you an insight into his edition of the Silmarillion and where he got it all from, why he wrote what he wrote in there. And again, it all came from his father. He didn't make up anything new. He tried not to invent anything new. He did leave Eowyn out of the final Silmarillion. But as I've said before, that doesn't mean that it was abandoned, because I don't think he ever was abandoned. But Tolkien in his last years did kind of struggle with, okay, how's this going to fit with Lord of the Rings? How's this going to look more realistic? Because it has to be true to truth, and it has to have an inner consistency of reality. I will probably talk about these topics in the future, but that's pretty much the history of Middle-earth right there. So I will be making more content about Tolkien. There's already several videos already. Please check those out. If you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. And I will see you all probably tomorrow with another video, depending on how work goes tonight. Because I've been really busy at work, so I haven't really had much chance to make many videos. So, until next time, have a wonderful night, and I will see you all later.